Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to come to Shanghai and share with you our market experiences. My name is Liu Wenzhong. Wen stands for literature. Zhong means loyalty. Whenever I introduce my name to the audience, they also ask me if I have any other siblings. I have siblings, but when my grandma found me this name was because he want me to be a man of intelligence, and he also would like me to help contribute to the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Therefore, this name is full of my grandpa's expectations. I hope I can live up to his expectations. My speech is titled "Sharing Economy is Changing the Marketing Model." So the center of gravity is model, but look at this funnel model. It's a conventional and classical marketing model. It was explained in many textbooks. Therefore, when marketers are looking for advertisement placement, usually they approach CCTVs or outdoors locations that have a lot of traffic volume, and also very popular TV variety show like I Am a Singer. Usually marketers spend heavily on pushing the brand exposure. But all these marketers have this concern in their mind. They know that not all their investment are generating a return, but they don't know which part of their investment is wasteful. At the middle part of the funnel, we see this accurate conversion. Accurate conversion here means people who've seen the ad and are converted into purchases of that advertiser's products. But as the time has changed, we are in the era of mobile socializing. Our CEO proposed this new concept of wave-like marketing, from funnel to ripple-like marketing. So what is the difference between this new approach vis-a-vis the old approach? In the past, you need to throw a big stone into a pool. It's like you have advertisement played by CCTV, and you just hope that a big rock would generate huge waves or ripples. But now I'm recommending you to break down that big rock and turn them into little rocks, little pebbles, and that lasts longer, and you can throw your pebble at the right spot. So that means it's more precise and has a more targeted effect and lasting effect. In the past, when we invest in advertisement, we just hope that over time, a certain portion of them become our consumers. But now with better CRM system in place, we know who these valuable customers are, and they are contributors to your revenues. Let's say a customer has bought a product. It's a real-life case. A consumer purchased 10,000 yuan worth of products. Another consumer purchased 1,000 yuan worth of a product. Which customer is more valuable to this brand? Can you tell me the answer? The 10,000 yuan consumer, right? Because you will follow up and you look at his footprint online. But in the social internet era, something has changed. If you have a social element in your CRM system, you might figure out that the 10,000 yuan value has only 1,000 connections in a social network. But the consumer, which contributes only 1,000, might have 500,000 fans online. Therefore, you understand that the 1,000 yuan consumer, he's an internet celebrity, and he talks about the product he purchased and consumes, and has a very good evaluation of that product, and has an impact on his huge number of fans. The old model measures reach rate, conversion rate, and ROI, while the Ripple model focuses on joints, influences, and lifetime value. Therefore, the two models have a different control measurements. We're saying when we're hit by the sharing economy, we need to think differently about our approach to marketing. The only taxi company that owns no taxis is Uber. It's a pooling of taxi owners. And in China, we have Didi, and also Airbnb is a comparable case. Airbnb is also one of our clients. And the world's largest encyclopedia, which hires no editors, that is Wikipedia. So their success all builds on the sharing economy, and they adapt to the changing social norms. What implications does this sharing economy have on marketers? If I may share with you one specific example, you might have heard it elsewhere. Let's go back to the spring and autumn, the Warring States period. There was this man called Li Buwei, and he published a book called Spring and Autumn of Lu. He wrote a book to influence the king of the Qin dynasty. He wanted to persuade the emperor of Qin dynasty. Because he could not have direct impact or direct influence on the emperor, he decided to publish a book and expected the king to read that book. How did he maximize his influence on the king? Who wrote the book? Actually, it wasn't him who wrote the book. At that time, famous people, they supported many intellectuals, usually in the number of 3,000. And Li Buwei also provided for 3,000 men of literature or men of wushu or Chinese kung fu. And these 3,000 strong people are all very influential in their respective areas. If you use today's terms, they are 3,000 KOLs. And they all wrote, and you could call them owned media. And they all wrote a part, and he compiled all the articles written. That became a book. So it's like Li Buwei is the leader of this owned media alliance. So let's say each one only contribute 10 articles, and 3,000, 30,000 articles after editing and printing. Oh, the book was published immediately. This is like crowdsourcing. So you can easily understand the huge impact this book had on the whole community of intellectuals. So the king had no way but to read this book. In the past, there was no social media. So how did he communicate with his target audience? He hung his book at the city's entrance gate. And the third approach, the third tactic he had was a marketing tactic. If you could provide any improvement recommendations, I give you 1,000 grams of gold. So this was it suddenly attracted the opinion of everybody because you use a bigger reward. If you changed any single word in my book, I gave you 1,000 grams of gold. But actually no one dares to correct Mr. Li Buwei because he was a second only to the king. He was the most senior court official. So this is like building up the word of mouth overnight. And he managed to utilize all these resources to help him achieve his target. Today, when marketers doing marketing or branding, they all hope that through advertisement and everything, we can link the brands with consumers. It's media-centric an approach, but time has changed. Today, businesses need to think, how can I use my product as a belt so that I can chain up my current consumers with my future consumers? But how to chain up my current consumers with their friends and relatives, known as our future consumers? So you need to think carefully about it and need to incentivize them to pick up our product and also advocate on behalf of us. I think the biggest marketing resource is not our huge body of advertisements, but the power of sharing of our existing consumer. In in the age of social mobility, we need to make it so easy for our consumers to share with their families and friends. So we give up the funnel model. We adopt this ripple model. We talk about the closeness of our customers with our brand, and based on his or her social impact, we set up a ripple model. We think close to the core is employees and channel, and a layer above loyalty users and community.
Perhaps in the beginning you have a community of around 1,000 loyal customers, and through their influence we could reach a bigger group. At an outer layer would be KOLs and internet celebrities. We need to think about how to use the influence of these people. At the outmost layer would be potential consumers. Now, for different layers of people, they have different values and they have different preferences and behavior. That's why we need to adopt different strategies. If you think of it as an iceberg, the part that's above water will be consuming consumers, potential consumers. Now, Xiaomi is a good example at doing digital marketing very successfully. We will talk about Xiaomi's successful cases very often in the previous years. Everyone knows that Xiaomi is a customer-centric company, but for Xiaomi's strategy, all I can see would be the consumer or the potential consumer part. But in fact, Xiaomi did a very good job that started from the core of this ripple model. They started from the brand to their employees, loyal customers, KOLs, etc. How could we create such a ripple model? The most important thing at the core would be content. If you look at products that are marketed by Durex, they do a very good job at content. They might have a strong team and handsome budget. They are able to create content very successfully. We have been working with many global brands, and we have to devote a lot of creativity into such teams. But no marketing expert can say that every idea of his or hers can be successful. The content is not stable, neither is it reliable. We all want to create the best content, but all we can do is try our best. No one can ensure the successful influence of content. Other than the content itself, are there any ways to encourage consumers to share with their friends about their liking of the brand? Now, the thing would be incentive mechanism. If you have successful incentive mechanism, you're going to have much bigger ripple. In the internet era, a typical example would be the Uniqlo dressing room incident. This was first reviewed on a Weibo account, and on the next day, it became a global phenomenon. Now, the next part of the ripple would be one-to-one communication, and at the outmost layer of this framework would be advertisements. Data would be key for content creation. Technologies have becoming more and more important. Gartner's research showed that in the past 2 years, CMO devoted a lot of time and money on technology, and in 2017, the investment by CMO in technology might be higher than the CIO's investment. For example, in the beginning, we would work with the company's IT department, but recently we have been working more and more with the branding and marketing department of the company. For these 4 different groups, how can we motivate them? We need to interact with our employees and create ideas. Now, the first group, again, would be your employees among these four groups: employees, channels, loyal customers, and communities. But some companies find it very difficult to fully motivate their employees. For every company, they have a group of employees. The grassroots employees, they might not be paid very well, but they are the best looking kind, the front desk. You might think that front desk do not create much value, but everybody wants to be connected with the front desk, right? When a front desk in a company and there are 400 employees, maybe the front desk is WeChat friend with all 400 employees. When the front desk leaves a job for another, she or he may still be friends with all these 400 employees. Now, another example would be we worked with a bank last year and we discovered in 2015, given the era of Internet Plus, we wanted to evolve into Bank 3.0 that focus more on users, products, and channels. Now, in mobile internet era, how could they create a mobile internet scenario where the users can be connected with the banks? This is very important. We need to take full advantage of resources such as bank employee resources to create more business. Now, we worked with ICBC, which has over 20,000 outlets with around over 10 employees at each outlet. For each outlet, they would reach around 600 customers on average. Now, banks do not really do very well in digital marketing, but ICBC, in fact, is very advanced in this matter. And ICBC told us that they wanted to maximize the values of the resources of the employees, and we created a solution for them. We wanted to fully utilize the employee resources to measure the effects of marketing, and we could transform attention from offline to online, bank to offline, and then become businesses. Banks want to sell wealth management products, and only employees are able to explain such products very thoroughly. They want the employees to recommend such products to their friends. For this case, we did three things. First, we want to use the large group of employees to create brand exposure. Second, we want to get as many leads as possible. Thirdly, through digital means, we want to be able to measure the whole process. We want to know what kind of exposure and leads each employee can bring to the company. That is why we created a employee version SCRM solution. Every employee can have a task center, and they could get tasks assigned to them by the company. He or she could share the tasks to their WeChat community, or they could send this task to their clients' WeChat. They could create QR codes for their customers to scan. So when the user or friend clicks on it or retweet, resend such messages, the employee gets more points. Now, in this case, employee is A, his friend is B. So when B resends A's message and his friend C sees B's message, then more points will be added to A. So every time of resend or retweet will add more points to A. This would encourage employees to do as much exposure as possible for the company, because in this way you will make sure that employees are properly motivated. In many cases, if we say that if you scan a QR code or get a gift, you would scan it, but then you would delete the WeChat account as long as you get the gift. But our solution helps the company to avoid the problem, and also we're able to see the path of communication, and every employee actually can see their influence of communication. Many employees like to see what their influences are by looking at this chart. Now there is a community called 野兽骑行. It has 10,000 community members, and they were invited to join the SCRM for better influences. I have a community with 4,000 members. I will share with them my insight on digital marketing. But when there are 4,000 members, I do not really know how many of them read my posts. I can't really manually note down everyone's system. But if we have a point system, we can see that how many points they gather by resending or retweeting my messages. So I could have a point system, a ranking system of these points, and I can have a rewarding system based on the point system that I have, so that the members can be properly motivated. That is why it is very important for us to have the right software or solution in place. Now let's look at KOL. Many companies would work with KOL in advertising their products. We have a lot of global companies that work with us, and they want us to approach KOL for advertising, which are quite expensive. Many months ago, there was this hit online TV show, the story of princess, and we helped them with their marketing. In many cases, when marketing investment is put online, they don't know whether they're effective. There are no quantifiable measurement. Sometimes it is very difficult to contact the KOL. If you manage to take KOLs in your team, you have to communicate with them constantly, so might need to work with a third-party KOL agency. And in terms of content publication and effects monitoring, sometimes you can only see information at the superficial level, but you do not know what the real effects of KOL on your brand, what kind of exposure will the KOL bring to your company. You could only know the number of retweets of the KOL's posting, or how many people have read the KOL's posting of your product's message. Other than that, you don't really know more. So can we put everything on one platform with clear visibility and transparency? We've discovered that there are a number of pain points, such as you cannot find the best KOL, you cannot evaluate the quality of KOL's collaboration, you cannot effectively analyze the campaign's results, and you could not have repeat success. So we've decided that we could have 4 different systems to meet the problems, or to deal with these 4 problems of using KOL as a campaign tool. We have intelligent selection and evaluation system of KOL, and we can monitor the effects of KOL communication in real time. Chuchen was mentioned in the previous speaker's case. Now, Chuchen Orange did very well in social marketing, and we helped them with it. We at WeChat in 2014 and 2015, we had access to all Weibo users who mentioned the word Chuchen in 2014 and 2015, and we would look at the number of the followers, the quality of the followers, as well as many other factors. And we managed to find 1,000 most influential people who mentioned Chuchen. We sent messages to these 1,000 people, and half of them would like to participate in our buy one get one for free campaign. But if they want to participate in the campaign, they need to send a Weibo posting on their user feedback of these Chuchen oranges. And we asked them for their contact information, their offline address, and 250 people actually paid for this 1 carton of true orange and participating in the buy one get one for free campaign. They sent Weibo postings commenting on such a campaign, and there was this one big KOL, Han, that participated in this campaign. It is very influential. Now, 主持人 ROI is 30 to 1, which means that for 1 yuan of investment, they would get return of 30. This is a very high ROI. Many people are very interested in the reason we can achieve high ROI. There are many reasons. First is technology. The second is creativity. If you want to launch an ad, you must make it very interesting. And second, you need to reach the right group of people. You have to have the support of data. That's why we especially design the software for them, for companies to know where to place their ads, to what kind of KOLs to work with, so that their interests and qualities can be aligned. This is KOL SCRM, and you could have a dashboard to see all the factors such as the location activities of these KOLs.
Third, if you find if there's a no quality interaction, usually over time the number of fans dwindle or decline. And also, if you want to contact your consumer or fan offline, usually it takes 7 or 8 yuan per contact. So how should we approach this? First, we look at the precise fans operation. I only recommend provide targeted content to a specific fan or customer. Let's say, after a consumer has purchased the car, if you keep sending information about new cars, will he feel nuisance? Of course. Therefore, if for a new car buyer, you only recommend information about the spare parts and accessories. And also, we need to help set up a unique marketing based on your in-depth knowledge about a customer segment. So after a fan has decided to follow your account, then you need to put a tag on that fan. And over time, you find that the longer a fan becomes your follower or fan, the more tags you collect about that fan. And through a collection of tags, you can more precisely recommend data or reports or articles to that specific fan or customer. Second, if you're able to find the right person and also the right window of opportunity, you also need to provide them with the right tools. First, you find the right person at the right time, and also you need to find the right trigger point. For example, major holidays or birthdays. Let's take an example. A boy is courting a girl. Usually, he has to go through 3 steps to get that girl. First, always on. It's about daily operation, daily maintenance of relationship. We help run the account and also the body of fans on behalf of the brand owner. Keep buying flowers for the girls and buying her meals and accompanying her in her shopping trips. That's step 1. Step 2, critical moments. What you do at critical moments. At a critical moment, if you made the wrong move, the girl might no longer want to be the girlfriend of yours. For example, birthday. You need to send a birthday gift. If you don't, you lose her. And suppose there's a major blockbuster movie, and that is what your girlfriend likes, then you need to buy film tickets and take her to the cinema. Step 3, trigger. You tell that girl there is a movie, and she asks you what movie it is, and then she asked about what you should do after the movie, and you say dinner. After dinner, what shall we do? So she keeps asking you questions, and you can give a series of recommendations based on her response. Let's say a consumer has bought a pant, and then you can recommend her the shirts. But how to turn your fans to your advocates? First, it's about recruitment, and it's also about giving them a proper incentive. So it all begins with the profiling of your customer fan advocate. We have a system, the SCRM of consumers. I think my time is running out. And behind this is the support of a data platform. So to achieve a ripple marketing, we still have to address several challenges. First, mechanism and the products that drive sharing. Second, anti-counterfeiting. And number three, timeliness. And number four, uniqueness. These are the four major challenges you have to overcome to implement a ripple marketing. I'd like to share with you my final case. It's Unilever. It's a 1 kilogram or 2 kilogram kitchen use condiments. It's heavy, 1 kilogram or 2 kilogram. Usually, a housewife would prefer not to use such heavy products, and usually it's bought by kitchens or restaurants. How does Unilever reach out to the kitchen owners, especially the chefs in these kitchens or restaurants? Well, this is Unilever's approach. We found that there were over 5 million chefs throughout China. Their old approach only managed to cover 80,000. So there is 4.2 million chefs remaining, and they're mainly scattered around China in some tier 3, tier 4 cities, and your sales reps cannot economically access these 4.2 million chefs. So what did we do? The old approach didn't work. The old approach was offline. For example, the previous speaker's niece studied Pacific cuisine. The old approach focused on call center, but it still couldn't economically contact these 4.2 million people. But 500 million Chinese have opened their WeChat accounts. So we can easily reach these people if they become a registered WeChat account user. So we set up this chefs community and include it into our CRM system. And so to set up the system, we need some data. First, we need to begin by doing this chef profiling. We need to collect enough individual data about whether the chef works in a Chinese restaurant or a Western food restaurant. If it's a chicken flavor, usually it only is used by Chinese restaurants. For example, steamed fish was a typical fish offered by Chinese restaurants. Second, their consumption pattern or their purchase pattern. What types of condiments do they have they purchased, and what is the types of cuisines? And third, their social habits. What types of articles do they follow closely, and whom are their celebrity models? So we first set up this system and incorporate this into their CRM. So Unilever asked our company to do the social component of their CRM, and then we supported the interface between our data and their corporate CRM system. After that, you see, first, we designed a campaign for them, and second, daily operation and maintenance and specific one-on-one communication based on the tags we collected. And number three, through lotteries and lucky money, they collected more client data, and we helped do profiling of their targeted audience. And also we designed activity. The more a chef purchased, if they consulted you online, usually you direct that high-value chef to a VIP desk, help desk. And also the operation and maintenance of the WeChat community. So from target audience profiling to the purchase orientation profiling, and so on and so forth, and setting up this integrated component of social CRM, and also direct this information to their sales reps. If it's a high-value chef, we can send sales reps to visit them. Why do we provide this integrated service package to them? First, we need to help make sure that they can have their messages communicated to a larger audience. We provided a lot of service to them, from consultancy to the definition and design of a lifetime value of the customers, and to the campaign support, data support, event support, on-time, online maintenance, and also lucky money, how to stop the lucky money from being taken advantage of by people who are not genuinely interested in their business, and also the impact monitoring and data collection, and so on and so forth. We've provided a lot of service to them, and also we monitor data, real time, and also system migration, migrate your old users to your new system, account management, materials management, and targeted information communication, and also create the HM5 format for information sending. After our 6 months of commitment, we turned their chef community from 80,000 to 1.5 million and provide quality leads to their sales reps offline. So whenever they launch an event, usually it generates over 100 million RMB of revenues. I'd like to talk about my company, Social Touch. We're a new media company. We provide comprehensive solutions to our clients. It's a one-stop shop, and we hire 800 in Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. We provide a tactical operation and conversion and all types of services to customers. And Lenovo is a strategic investor in our round one financing. So this is about our investors. And 30 brands under Procter & Gamble are actually operated by us. And also Lenovo, Tencent, Airbnb, JD.com, Hire, Mars, they're all our clients, and also Unilever. Gartner report shows we are the black horse in 2013 in the category of social. And we have set up a social digital marketing center. We are chosen by Harvard because Harvard University realized that in terms of digital marketing, we know a lot. So they pick us as their digital marketing research partner in China. So that's all for my presentation. Sharing economy is changing the marketing model from a funnel model to the ripple model. This is the final story is about the lucky money. Didi, China's Uber, asked me about our advertisement budget. And usually, whenever 1% of their investment is on advertisement, the remaining 99% on giving some economical benefits, namely lucky money to their users. So it's 1 to 99. And this is a marketing special agent game. It's a game app. You can download this QR. So it's about sharing economy. If you scan this QR code, and if you click it, and you will get a lucky money. The lucky money is not insignificant amount. It's a big amount, 8.8 yuan. So is it attractive enough? And if you follow our account, you will find this lucky money. So you need to click this lucky money, and that's real money. To make you feel even happier, I should say, you're not only receiving lucky money from us, whenever you share this information with your friends, you will get a lucky money reward. So please click it and also share it with your friends. The more you share, the more lucky money you get. I've talked a lot. I think I've used up my time. This is my personal WeChat account, and please scan my QR code, and I can talk with you when the meeting is finished. Last but not least, I'd like to thank you for listening to me. I'm humbled to sharing with you our experiences, and at Social Touch, we hope that we can contribute to your success at the social arena. Thank you. We'd like to thank the General Manager Liu Wenzhong from Social Touch. We have several minutes for Q&A. Do you have any questions? I've got two questions for you. First, how do you put in place the SCRM platform? The whole system's setup and maintenance might be costly, right? Can you give us a range of ROI by setting up this SCRM platform? Because I need to do a cost comparison by comparison with the old approach. First, do you remember that concentric circles, staffs, employees, and then their families and friends? The ROI is huge. To achieve 5 million exposures in WeChat community, what about the cost? You need 200,000 yuan to get a internet celebrity which has 2 million fans. For example, when we did the marketing for the princess, the TV drama, we first found an internet celebrity, but he was too costly.
If you would like to put an ad on WeChat, for every CPM for tier 1, it will be 150. Tier 2, 3 will cost you 100. So let's just say for every CPM will be 100. So every time exposure would be 0.1 yuan, and for 50 million times of exposure will cost you 5 million. But if you want to motivate your employees in this exposure process, the cost would be a fraction of that. In the future, marketing cost is going to be higher and higher. For example, for the Double 11 campaign, the usual CPM for Weibo would be 5 yuan per CPM, but during the Double 11, do you know how much that would be? For Double 11, do you know how much every CPM will cost? The usual price is 5. For Double 11, it will be 500, so it increases by 100 times. Now, for consumers, that would mean that we need to connect our data with the corporate data, and the cost is relatively higher. ICBC, in that case, managed to increase its follower base by 100,000. For Unilever, in that case, it had reward. It had increasing revenue of hundreds of millions. The other day, I went to Chao Hongji Jewelry to give them a lecture. In fact, the cost for them to establish such a framework is only millions, but the final results can be very rewarding. And after the presentation, they decided to create such framework for all 3 brands below Chao Hongji. You had one platform that could help you manage all the brands in their portfolio as well as their followers. If you acquire a brand in the future, you could import the acquired brand's user data in the system, and you could manage their fans or followers as well. So the ROI can vary based on your campaigns or your implementation, but we provide the foundation, the technological platform. So generally speaking, the ROI is very high. we have a lot of global and national partners. My second question, Didi taxi hailing app is very successful. It has created an ecosystem. And on the platform, there are a lot of drivers who would like to use Didi's service to make some extra money. So because of such an ecosystem, Didi is developing in a sustainable way. But if you look at the food and beverage sector, where there is limited attention from consumers, in your opinion, do you think F&B companies should establish their own CRM? Do they have enough selling points so that consumers will follow them all the time? So it might be easy for us to attract new users, but how can they be our long-time loyal members and followers? I talked about the three parts. First, the always-on daily operation have to have really good content so that you will have user stickiness. Now, the second would be MOT. These moments would determine whether consumers like you or dislike you on their birthdays, etc. You would offer them promotions. So we have a tag system to help you with that. Every activity would lead to new tags so that there will be more and more tags for user profile. Now, for the Weibo or WeChat accounts for companies, you would think that every month we could, for example, release 4 articles, but if you can set up subgroups of consumers, you could actually send each subgroups for very different texts, and in total you're going to send tens of different texts to all these target groups. So this would mean that you have more targeted way of talking with them. And when you sell something to your user, you could recommend other similar products to them. Now, for attracting new users, you can have many measures or mechanisms. For example, MGM, member get member mechanism. We worked with Arkang for social marketing. We would first input the old user data into our system, and we tell the users that if you bring in a new user, we will give you a free gift from our account, the contact lens solution for the old member, and we also give the solution bottle for free to the new member. So this is a way to motivate members to ask other people to become a new member. And this is a continuous process. I think you've already seen that such activities are very common. We worked with Nestle. It has a fashionable mother community, 潮妈团, and we worked with Nestle to invite pregnant or young mothers, pregnant women or young mothers to be a member of the community, and every one of them has a friend community. They would bring new users and new traffic to Nestle. Now for Didi or Shenzhou, another car hailing app, you can see that they have a sharing economy. They want to see more registered users, more registered drivers who would be on the platform, and they want the drivers to influence users and influence people around them. So there are two parallel systems, in fact, the system for users and system for drivers for these taxi or car hailing companies. Thank you very much for your presentation. I have two questions. You have a KOL management platform. So what kind of KOLs are in the management system? We have contact with over 10,000 KOLs. And we could analyze the quality of these KOLs. We could look at their influence based on a number of metrics. You could see what kind of groups they have an impact on. When you choose KOL, you could just contact them on this platform, and you're able to see real-time analysis of the influence of KOL when you work with the KOL. Some of the KOL are WeChat, but we cannot get all the data from WeChat because it's not public. Mostly we would do that on Weibo. You have a KOL platform, right? It is about deep data analysis. When we find the right KOL for you, we are a key big data partner with Sina. There are 3 of them. So we're able to have access to a lot of user data. In the past few years, we have developed a lot of technologies, and we have a database of hundreds of millions of users. So we'll be able to see the historical record of their Weibo postings. This is one advantage of us, and we can analyze KOL in a comprehensive way based on their posting history. Our system is very automatic, and we can do deep data analysis. We can do much more than asking the KOL to post your content or resend your content. It actually will we'll be able to see what kind of effects it will have. For example, if we ask someone to be a spokesperson, the spokesperson send a posting on social media will see whether that would lead to increase in awareness or exposure of the brand, and we could do deep analysis. This is very difficult to talk about in a short time, but we've been working with companies like Li-Ning, and we can make custom-made plans for these companies. My second question is, you worked with Unilever, and in your case study, you said that you work with a group of cooks. For FMB, that case actually did not reach a large group because FMB would need to deal with hundreds of millions of Chinese users, and in that case, you only reached around 5 or 50 million. So how would you work with bigger group of users and connect data from all sources? Well, that is not a really big problem. For many companies, when they have a fan base, they want to increase their fan base by a large margin, so they shouldn't have any concerns or worries. They could import their existing data of users, and they could, through our campaigns, attract new users, new members, and the data can be automatically uploaded in the system. So we have the infrastructure support that. For Unilever, it is more like a B2B campaign because they're working with cooks in campaigns. They're working with cooks in restaurants. This is actually more difficult than B2C. You can't really directly work with everyone. For B2C, when you are dealing with all the publics, and you just do what you do in your fan system. You can input data from your fan system, and then you could encourage them to invite their friends to be members and reward them accordingly.